1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The President says that Sri Lanka is the only country in Asia that has completely protected democracy. China assures continuous support to Sri Lanka's debt restructuring process. South Asia's largest maternity hospital declared open in Karapitia. The police media spokesman says that crimes have been increased due to many reasons. It has been revealed that there are more than 30,000 street children engaged in begging in many places in the island. Foreign news, 6 presumed dead after ship collides with bridge. President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasized that Sri Lanka stands out as the sole nation in Asia where democracy is fully safeguarded, ensuring that governmental actions do not impede the operations of the opposition. The President also underscored the significance of safeguarding the democratic parliamentary system, ensuring that everyone's viewpoints are afforded an opportunity to be heard. President Ranil Wickremesinghe delivered these remarks while speaking at the opening session of Sri Lanka's inaugural National Student Parliament convened yesterday at the Presidential Secretariat. The National Student Parliament comprises 2 representatives elected from each of the zonal student parliaments established in 100 regions spanning across the 9 provinces of the island, selected based on receiving the highest number of votes. The Chinese Prime Minister Li Qiang yesterday assured his Lankan counterpart Dinesh Gunawardena that his country would assist Sri Lanka's debt restructuring process continuously and develop its economy. Sri Lanka has $4.2 billion bilateral debt and $2.9 billion in commercial debt outstanding to China. During the high-level bilateral talks in Beijing, the Chinese Prime Minister praised Sri Lanka's economic progress after a period of economic downside. He pointed out that Sri Lanka consistently followed One China policy and supported China at international forums. Premier Li Qiang said his country would also extend assistance to develop Katunayak International Airport, Hambantota Port and Colombo Port City. Premier Gunawardena thanked China for standing for Sri Lanka's independence, territorial integrity and sovereignty, and helping Sri Lanka when faced with international political issues or economic problems. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The German-Sri Lanka Friendship New Women's Hospital in Karapitia, Galle, was inaugurated by President Ranil Wickremesinghe this morning. Boasting a total of 640 beds, 6 operating theatres, emergency units, intensive care, pediatric units and modern facilities, it marks a significant advancement in Sri Lanka's healthcare, the President's media division said. It is understood that this facility is the largest maternity hospital not only in Sri Lanka but also in South Asia. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Taldua says that crimes have been increased due to many reasons. The development of business activities, expanding of communication, drug rackets, and use of social media have affected this increase. He made these remarks while participating at the Subarathi program of the SLBC. He stated that police have taken several strategic measures to eradicate crimes. Senior Professor on Statistics and Data of the Peradeniya University, Vasantha Atukorala, said that there are more than 30,000 street children engaged in begging in many places in the island. It has been confirmed through studies and researchers conducted in several areas. He also stated that it is the duty of the government to prepare a correct data network of them, as it is a big issue in the country. Major attention should be paid on them before they compel to social illegal activities. It has been revealed that children between the ages of 4 and 15 are not attending schools. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Vedamahatmya.
Netherlands Ambassador in Sri Lanka, Bonnie Hobeck, says that there is a high demand for Sri Lanka's agricultural products in the international market. She stated that the government and the businessmen should encourage to make the goal a success. The necessary support of the Netherlands government will be provided. She made these remarks when she met Minister Mahinda Amravira yesterday, and that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Paveda.
Watch Live is brought to you by
CIB Navy offer valuable gifts and gift vouchers, 25% discount for bank cards till 10th of April. Visit CIB today. CIB revives once always.
In Watchlight this afternoon, the National Medicines Regulatory Authority NMRA have made a startling recovery that recent flooding of unregistered skin treatment medicines found in the local markets as cosmetics could have serious health hazards. The NMRA Food and Drugs Inspectors, following several alerts of the College of Dermatologists, searched several leading cosmetics shops in Colombo yesterday to find an unregistered skin treatment medicine being sold by them. A senior NMRA official has stated that the cosmetic shop owners have said that they had purchased the goods from wholesale shops in the Petah market. Following information, the officials had then raided two main wholesale dealers of cosmetic goods in Katharesan Street and found over 470 such skin treatment medicines, which should be sold only with a prescription and not as a simple cosmetic. And that came to you in Watchlight.
CIB Navy offer valuable gifts and gift vouchers, 25% discount for bank cards till 10th of April. Visit CIB today. CIB revives once always.
Coming up, World News.
The headlines first. 6 presumed dead after ship collides with bridge. More living than dead people on statues and sculptures in 2023. And public satisfaction with NHS at lowest ever level, survey shows. 6 people are missing and presumed dead after a container ship hit the landmark Francis Scott Key Bridge in the U.S. city of Baltimore. The Coast Guard said it had suspended its search and began a recovery effort. Several vehicles were crossing the bridge, which is more than 2.6 kilometers long, when it collapsed after the vessel hit a support. Officials say the ship suffered a power issue and issued a distress call moments before the crash. Boats and helicopters were part of a huge search and rescue effort searching for 6 missing people. 2 others were pulled from the water, with one in a serious condition. More living people than dead were depicted on statues and sculptures in 2023, according to new data seen by BBC News. It is the first time this century that this has happened and reflects a drive to celebrate more people of colour, said Art UK, which compiled the data. More than a third of all monumental unveiled last year are of black people. But overall, the people depicted in public sculpture remain overwhelmingly white men, the charity said. Only 2% of public statues defined as those in the public realm across the UK are dedicated to black, Asian and minority ethnic figures, while just 70% of women its figures show. Public satisfaction with the NHS has dropped again, setting a new low recorded by the long-running British Social Attitude Survey. Just 24% said they were satisfied with NHS in 2023, with waiting times and staff shortages the biggest concern. That is 5 percentage points down on last year and a drop from 2010 high of 70% satisfaction. The poll, the gold standard measure of the public's view of the health service, has been running since 1983. More than 3,000 people were polled by the National Centre for Social Research across England, Wales and Scotland in autumn. And back to the headlines again. 6 presumed dead after ship collides with bridge. More living than dead people on statues and sculptures in 2023, and public satisfaction with NHS at lowest ever level, survey shows. And that ends World News.
Development News.
Siena Tharu Volleyball Playground belongs to the Gampaha Municipal Council which belongs to the Gampaha Municipal Council, will be developed. The Urban Development Authority has initiated the reconstruction activities of it. It was opened by Minister Prasanna Ranatunga last Friday, and that was development news.
Moving on with sports news.
In sports news, the Bangladesh cricket squad has been named for the second test match with Sri Lanka team. Shakib Al Hasan has been convened for the Bangladesh squad for the second test match. The second test match between the two nations will begin on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Under-19 Tri-Nation Women's Cricket Tournament will be played in Suryawewa International Playground in Hambantota tomorrow. The Under-19 women's team of Sri Lanka, England and Australia will compete. The Sri Lanka Cricket Institute says that this match will be a T20 limited over game. And that was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Sri Lanka-Korea Business Council of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce recently hosted a networking evening for members of the council, diplomats, government officials and industry representatives to foster collaboration and bilateral cooperation. SLKBC President Asita Madis emphasized the importance of such networking events in facilitating and promoting bilateral trade and investment and cultural exchange. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news. In a bid to propel Sri Lanka towards a digitally empowered future, the Cabinet of Ministers sanctioned the implementation of National Economic Digital Strategy 2030. The strategy aims to unlock new avenues for economic diversification, job creation and inclusive development, Cabinet's co-spokesman and Minister Bandula Gunawardena said at the post-Cabinet meeting media briefing yesterday.
Weather report.
Showers or thundershowers will occur in the western, Sabaragamuwa, southern, central, Uva, northwestern and north-central provinces after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa and central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Several spells of showers may occur in the eastern province. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabaragamuwa and western provinces and in the Galle and Mathura district during the morning. Well, that was the weather report, and prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines again. The President says that Sri Lanka is the only country in Asia that has completely protected democracy. China assures continuous support to Sri Lanka's debt restructuring process. South Asia's largest maternity hospital declared open in Karapitia. Police media spokesman says that crimes have been increased due to many reasons. It has been revealed that there are more than 30,000 street children engaged in begging in many places in the island. And foreign news, 6 presumed dead after ship collides with bridge. Well, with that we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and it's over to Satya on the other side to keep you entertained this Wednesday afternoon. Over to you, Satya.